Freaking.com.
More factoids and commentary regarding the suspension of pro-liberty New Hampshire cop Brad Jardis. Jardis is a cop who has openly spoken out against the drug war, and he has claimed that that's why he was suspended. The Jardis story recently broke into the mainstream press. That was around Friday, October 30th. It's given us a chance to very loosely gauge public response, because UnionLeader.com has a public comment section. So far, response has been heavy, but not unusually so. 20 hours after the article appeared, there were 60 comments, 32 supportive of Jardis, 14 against, the rest mixed. So, roughly 2-to-1 support. But we'll learn more if and when the story breaks into other mainstream outlets with comment sections. Obviously, most of the commentary on indie sites is pro-Jardis.
Anyone can join LEAP. It's actually free, and the more voices we have behind the message that the war on drugs is an abject failure, the better.
One thing I didn't get into in my previous coverage is Jardis's claim that his free speech on issues is protected by New Hampshire law. Here's the exact law and quote, as I found it on nh.gov. RSA 98-E:2. Interference prohibited. Quote, no person shall interfere in any way with the right of freedom of speech, full criticism, or disclosure by any public employee. Unquote. I do want to make a couple of points in fairness to Epping PD. The chief's refusal to comment is not so different from what you and I might do if the government investigated us. In a sense, that's exactly what's happening. The Fourth Estate is investigating, to some extent, the police estate. Also, there's this saying from Babylon 5, ignore the propaganda, concentrate on what you see. The best way to understand someone is to fight them. What I've seen at Epping PD, having fought them peacefully, briefly, is professional and even friendly behavior toward dissent. They could be doing terrible things when I'm not around, for all I know, but that's just what I've seen in my brief interactions with them. However, I don't completely ignore propaganda, and some of the comments on UnionLeader.com are worth mentioning. Desiree in Epping writes, quote, he is one of the few cops in Epping that you can trust. Now, if this makes me a target in the town of Epping by these officers, then so be it, seeing I am the only Desiree in town. Unquote. So she's supporting Jardis. Tim in Jaffrey writes, quote, if our law enforcement officers are stepping up by the droves to say that going after pot is a waste of time and money, then do you think maybe they actually know what they're talking about? Unquote. But James in Manchester writes, quote, he and other internet-savvy free staters and libertarians who haunt this board should be ashamed of themselves. Unquote. So we're getting a lot of backhanded compliments from our opponents for being internet-savvy and making our presence felt, and it appears that the courage of one man is having a disproportionate effect, triggering Epping residents to step forward against the police force, and giving the impression that there are lots of cops against the drug war. I hope that impression's true. Another minor piece of news. UnionLeader.com did not mention the homophobic cartoon Jardis says appeared on his locker. When I posted a link to it on their comments section, the post failed to appear. So, do they not believe this cartoon really happened as presented, or do they feel they have insufficient evidence? I don't know, but the chief would not comment on the allegations about the cartoon coming from another cop. The Union Leader did print my comment reminding readers that Jardis has held his complaints about the department close to the chest for months. I'd like to make correction also to something I reported in an earlier package about this. Jardis was apparently not the first to join LEAP while a sitting police officer. He's just the first one to openly join in the United States while employed in law enforcement. There are apparently many closet LEAP members. Lastly, it may be a long time before I get out to Epping, so I could use video of the town or of Epping PD.
My body! My property!
You've seen the dramatic liberty arrests in Keene, New Hampshire. Now see 111 reasons why you should move there and reinforce these gutsy activists. Keene's advantages are compelling. For details, visit freekeene.com.